Record to this computer. Okay, today is November 26th, and tonight is our team call. Thank you for switching to Mondays. That was totally my beat. I got scheduled tomorrow night, and so I don't really have much control over that yet. But we're really excited to talk to you about this topic really fast. What is going on in Beachbody world, especially since we have a new coach on the call, is that this is the November, the no excuse November. So $20 off all challenge packs over 150, which is pretty much all of them. So this is a great time to go back, and it's the end of the month, and we've all been there when you're hustling for Success Club at the end of the month. One thing I thought about today to share with you guys is like go back to even a post like a while ago, like a month ago, 2 months ago. If you had like a really great fitness post or transformation post, look who commented or liked or any of that, and then re-follow up with them. People like to save money, especially around the holidays. People are really watching what they're spending. I think I'm going to do a post on my Instagram or on my Instagram story that's like, share this with your husband or spouse if you'd like to be in my boot camp and want it for Christmas. That was like kind of my idea. I'm probably going to wait till the 1st of December, but, you know, letting them know that, you know, there's different ways to sign up. What was I going to say? So that's kind of it. And then obviously the new thing is we're going to start talking a lot about Shaun T's new program, Transform 20. You really do want to hustle to get on the board for Success Club this month because that will guarantee you a step. You will always get a step, but it might be late if you order a little bit late in the month of December. It's kind of like when 80 Day Obsession came out and everyone was waiting for their bands and everyone was waiting for their stuff. The program is gonna blow up, and we are so lucky that Beachbody markets these programs and like they hype it up for us. So all we have to do is like jump on the hype up train. We don't have to create it for ourselves. So what I'll probably do is like play the YouTube video on my laptop and like do a little Instagram story and show what the program is going to be like, and then just put out feelers like, hey, when the new year happens, like, do you want to do a 20-minute workout with me? Like that kind of stuff. Just kind of like start putting the feelers out, and then we'll invite super hard. Get prepared. Nobody wants to send out invites on Christmas Eve or Christmas or like 2 days before. So you're going to want to invite a lot in the beginning of December, and then you're going to want to do a lot of building. I'm just prepping you for December. So you're going to like a lot of commenting on people's pictures, a lot of like answering their Instagram stories, a lot of just like, hey, how are you? Are you excited for Christmas? No direct invites. And then on the 26th, 27th through the new year, you're going to want to hit the invites hard, because that's when people are going to be like, okay, Christmas is over, they're cleaning up, and then they're like, oh my gosh, like I'm feeling kind of fluffy after the holidays, and that's where you insert you, okay? But if you don't insert you, then someone else will insert them, and then like they'll jump on, and we don't want them to jump on like the keto train or the It Works train. We want to help them do something that's going to give them tools for all of 2019 so that they can have the healthiest year yet. Okay, so that's just kind of my insert plug on all of that. And get those no's. Yes, get those no's now, because a no now is totally normal, and we're going to talk a lot about that tonight. Because then the new year will happen. Like I just had a message from a girl who has literally ghosted me for years. And she was like, hey, I don't really want to be in the group, but can you please tell me about all this? I think I want to sign up with everything you do. And I was like, sure. Like you've literally never answered me, but I've seen her. She's commented on my stuff for years. She's watched my Instagram stories. So anyways, you just have to be there being consistent. Okay, but tonight we're going to talk about pushing for a goal. So we didn't really, I'm sorry, see, this always happens. What's up, Tammy? Oh, she was stuck under the sheet. It's fine. I do have pants on, by the way. They're just pajama shorts. So what Brenna and I did this quarter is we started pushing for a goal. We had we're always kind of pushing. You know, we have really big goals in our business. Everyone has different goals, so don't feel like your goals have to be our goals, but we do have pretty big goals in this business. Like, we would like to be 15 star. We would like this to be our full-time income. We would like to build a legacy, help other women build legacies for their family, and for themselves. But so we're always kind of pushing, but we don't really have an upline. Brigida is our upline, and she is amazing, and she's a 15 star, which means she has made it to the rank where at one time there has been 15 active diamonds underneath her, and then you get that lifetime rank of 15 star, which is a pretty big deal. But she is in a really great place in her business where she's not necessarily pushing for crazy big goals. She's pushing for like maintaining goals. She's in the million club, so she makes $1 million a year. So she's feeling pretty good about herself, you know, like and that's okay. And that's her right. But we have had to kind of figure it out as we go. And we have figured out that you are in control of your business. And I think that for me, and I'll only speak for me, that I really fought this for a while. I was like, no, people are eventually just going to be flooding to me. Like, this is just, you know, people are going to just be, I'll have to like stop the door, that they're just going to be coming to me. And that's not what happens in the beginning. And it's kind of hard to accept that, but once you accept it, it's really empowering that you get to be in control of your business and that you get to build your team as you are in control of that. You are in control of how many invites you send, of how many, you know, people you love on Instagram. You are in control of that. And then before you're even gifted a second business center, you can sign up a spouse or what we call the controlled account, your mom's account, whatever, and you can build that. And we realize that we have to build that because we want these goals and we can't wait until some magical person shows up on our door and is like, hi, I'm whoever, and I would like to, you know, sell 1,000 challenge packs today. Like, no. So what happened is basically New Leader Conference is the beginning of every year. So in February 2019, a 1-star, basically 1-star or 2 stars newly get to go to this conference. And you get to go, and it's basically for people who are all right there in that one place of business. So like when you go to Summit, everybody is at different places at Summit, right? You have brand new coaches, you have emerald coaches, you have diamond coaches, you have 15-star coaches. Everyone is at different places. But New Leader Conference is for people who just really got started getting traction in their business, and that's really helpful. And there's like a big party and there's dancing. So obviously Brenna and I were like, okay, we need to be at the dancing. So we wanted to do that. Well, when you hit diamond is something that you just hit. So once you hit diamond, you're diamond. Like, that's it. Anything above that, you have to hold that rank for 6 weeks. So end of the year qualification started on Thanksgiving because it's 6 weeks till the end of the year, and you have to get that 1-star rank. So the leaders in the network put together a diamond dash, which Brenna and I joined. And we had notice of 2 days before. Brigida did not run this. She all of a sudden posted in Team Forward Fitness and was like, if you want to do this diamond dash, we start in 2 days. And it was like, okay, so let's go. So we had no notice. There was no prep time. There was no like, oh, I'm gonna like set myself up for success. It was like, go. So what we decided to do is that we both set the goal to make our husband's diamond, so that we could advance our businesses. And I did not meet that goal. Brenna met that goal. So, but we decided to do this team call before we even knew, and it was really scary. I was like, hey, Brenna, I think we should do like what it was like to push for this goal. And we both kind of were like, well, shit, like what if we both don't meet it? You know, that would be really sucky. But, you know, in a great way, we have the positive, not negative. There is no negative here, but I didn't make it and Brenna did. And so, but we are both right now in qualification for 1-star, which is really exciting and really doable. So basically what we're going to talk about, I'm going to kind of just do my word vomit right now, and then I'm going to kind of like do an interview style with Brenna because she did meet that goal. So like I said, we did not have any warning for this diamond push. I mean, we kind of had it in our head like, hey, we need to get it together so that like we can qualify for a new leader conference, but we didn't really plan on like a major push or anything like this. So, and to put it out there, like both of our husbands were like, the accounts were like nothing. So it's not like we had like, Brenna didn't start this and like had like, you know, she only had to advance like 2 coaches. Like Brenna had like nothing on Jeff's account. She had some discount coaches who were all inactive. And John was technically not Emerald. The requirement was that you had to be Emerald to join the group, but he wasn't. I mean, he was from like years ago, but he wasn't at the moment. So we started this with really nothing. And the really cool thing about it is that Brenna did it. I'm like way more bragging on her than wanting to talk about my own shit. But so what happened with me is that, and this is what I do, and I'm just going to be honest with you as your leader, and because I always say this, when we shine light on the gremlins go away. When we keep the gremlins in the dark is when they grow and they really eat at us. So years in the business, I've been in this business for a long time now, and my pattern has always been, I get success, I get limited belief, and I say, I can't do that again, and I shut down. And I shut down for like long periods of time. The positive thing is that 2018, I decided I'm not going to do that anymore. So I still have that pattern. However, I get back on the horse a lot faster. Like I used to like just go weeks without inviting, like weeks. And now it's like a day, like today, I actually did do invites, but then I cried. And then Brenna was like, get it together. And then now we're on the team call. So that's kind of like how it is now. And so if you have a pattern like that, which I bet some of you do, because I attract people, you attract who you are in this business. So probably you guys do the same thing. So I'm just shining a light on your gremlins, is that you just have to tell yourself and find your Brenna who is going to, and you can message me and I'll be that person that yells at you to get out of your head. But so what happened is in October, I hit the highest success club that I've ever reached. I signed, it's not the most coaches I've ever signed, but I did sign 4 coaches. I made John Emerald. I, got him going, the beginning of the push. And together our accounts made Success Club 16, and I was really feeling it, and I was sending like massive amount of invites, and I was starting Lift 4, and I was getting a good transformation. And then I started to get a bunch of no's, which we know is 150% normal. It is so normal, especially around this time of year. And so what I started to do is I started to get into my own head. And so we started the push on October 22nd or October 24th or something. So I pushed really, really hard. And then probably around the 5th of November, I was like in my head, I was like, nobody wants to do this. So I started to do other activities. I started to, that was all of a sudden when my community page went together, which is probably not the time I should have been doing that. I should have been doing invites, but I was working. So I was doing things, but I was not doing what you have to do when you're shooting for a goal that's rank oriented or success club oriented. You have to invite or follow up or re-invite or whatever you want to call it. So I stopped doing that. And then because sometimes I work really great under pressure, I was like the last week I was like, here we go again. And so I started to push really, really hard again. And I sent out like a bunch. I mean, honestly, Brenna and I didn't write down numbers because we weren't even taking the time to count. We were just going through our list and going through stories and inviting every single person. But so it was a lot of people. She has more of a ballpark, but like probably it was like 150 or something for me, like in that last little week. And I did not meet that goal. I still have so many wins because I have a lot of people who are going to sign up, who have the link and haven't signed up yet. And I am 1-star qualifying because I, got a couple more coaches under my account because one of my legs dropped off. And that's just what happens, you guys. Like, you're going to drop. But the point of a push is, and if you haven't watched the, yes, and Holly was one of those, but that's okay, Holly. Like, we sometimes, people sign up when they're ready, not when you want them to. And that's why we have to invite lots of people. But if you haven't watched this, recruit 30 people in 30 days or whatever it is, like, he says this really great thing is that in network marketing, in MLMs, you have to kind of get the plane off the ground. So you have to push a little bit harder than normal to build momentum. Just like I always say, you guys are probably so sick of hearing it, is that you have to pump the well. So at first you have to pump the well so hard. And just like you have to send massive amounts of invites at first to get the plane off the ground, and then you get momentum, and then you get going. So you have to do these big pushes periodically, to challenge yourself, and to two, because people will not sign up and people will quit as discount coaches and you'll drop. So if you are only working at the same speed as that people are dropping off, you're really never getting anywhere. So you have to do these massive pushes. The push that I did will not go unnoticed. When the new year comes, these people will be there. I'm not worried about it. But I could have pushed harder. And that's what you have to identify in yourself, is that some days you're going to be like, I did everything I could today, and you have to be confident in that. Other days, when you watch like 7 episodes on Netflix, or when you like do a bunch of things, or like my big thing is I always clean the house instead of like doing what I really want to be doing, because the house gets dirty again, is that I could have done better. And I recognize that, and that's okay. That's why we just have to self-evaluate and then figure it out. So that is me being honest about not reaching a goal. I'm not stopping. I am upset at myself. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not. But have a Brenna who talks you off the ledge, or, talk to your spouse or your best friend or whoever. John he doesn't always really get it, but he'll be like, I understand feeling like you didn't do something you wanted to do. And just kind of word vomit it, and then get back on the horse and then keep pushing, because it really doesn't matter as long as you are still pushing, as long as you're still going for it. So now we're going to turn the time over to Brenna, who did meet this goal. And what she's going to do is she is going to explain her mindset throughout it, because I promise you it went up and down. Some of the roadblocks that came up that were really unexpected, and then, the big successes that she did have, and how she's feeling right now, because that's important too, is that you, like, when you reach a goal, it feels really effing good. And so she should share that. Okay, go ahead.
Thanks, Sam. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to say that, just so we're clear, like, Sam is my Brenna as well. So we all have our own like limiting beliefs. I'm not the like, oh my God, I'm just so fabulous and so great and I do so amazing all the time. Like, that is not what happened. So I'm going to kind of explain that. But I appreciate Sam giving me the shout out for being that person. We all have our people in those moments. That's why she's my success partner, because in those moments I know I can reach out to her and I know she can reach out to me. So second of all, I know when we share these goals, a lot of people see like the after, like a lot of the top coaches say, don't compare your stage 1 to my stage 20. I also want to share like the framework of going into this goal as well. Like Sam was talking about a little bit. October, I hit Success Club 0. Did everybody hear that? 0, none. I got 0 points on the board, which for me is not my normal. That's not something that normally happens to me. I'm usually at least on the 5 range. I hit 0. And I was like, I had lost my diamond, which on my own personal account, and my husband was no longer Emerald. So keep in mind when we're talking about new leadership conference, I'm like, that would be so cool if we could go to new leadership conference. Never going to happen. Keep in mind also in September, I had one of my biggest months and signed up the most coaches and didn't even think twice about how to game plan that for 1-star. Didn't even cross my mind until all of a sudden in October, we're like, oh, let's go to New Leader. We want to dance and go learn from this amazing corporate training. Like, that's the thing, guys, is like, this isn't a training held by your peers. This is a training held by corporate and the top coaches in this company. So this is obviously a huge opportunity. And we kept talking about it like in theory, like this would be so cool. This would be so cool. This would be so cool. And yet had no real belief in myself that I was ever going to go. I am not even a diamond coach, let alone star diamond, let alone hitting Success Club 0. So let's just start off by saying that. Second of all, October was a really rough month for me personally, but also just in my transformation and also just in my own like mental state with this business. It was something that I was struggling with because I was getting a lot of those no's like Sam was talking about. And I was feeling like, does nobody want to be a part of my team? Like, I think we're so cool. I don't understand. It was really a struggle. So then this diamond hustle pops up and I literally had no desire to do it, guys. Honestly, my first diamond dash I did, I failed. I did not hit diamond and I cried and spiraled for like a month. Like I was like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. I pushed so hard, but instead, so Sam like reaches these big goals and then she has these moments where she like, I go to reach the big goal and I work all the way up until like the final days or weeks when it's like the clutch time and I just stop. That's how I self-sabotage. So we're all different in our limiting beliefs. We're all different in how we do it. So I just want to be clear that like we all have our different things that we're always working through. You don't always get to see that because you get to see the goal reached or the whatever. And, you know, kind of, I want you guys to understand how that all kind of happens. So we started this thing, like Sam said, they gave us 2 days notice and I was out of town during the notice. And I was like, well, I'm not even going to be home for 3 days. And I don't really know. I mean, no one signed up last month. So, but there are these really awesome, you know, coaches in there, Holly Hillier, Bonnie Engel, Scotty Hobbs, like people who like are known in this business are hosting this. So I'm like, well, at least nothing else. It cost me $25, but I get really good training maybe. Like, that's cool. I'll do that. So pay the $25, we get signed up and Sam and I are like at this breaking point. For me, guys, when I say like I was struggling with this business personally, I was like genuinely struggling. Like this is a make or break moment for me as a person, for me as a coach, for me as a leader. Like I called her and was like, I need this to be able to stand on my own 2 feet and say that Beachbody is real and that is a real business and that I'm going to be really successful at it. Like I have to do this. Which made no sense. Like, why I would not set myself up to do that a little bit easier? Who knows? So like I said, I wasn't diamond, so I had to again make my account diamond. I had to remake Jeff Emerald, and then I had to build his account to diamond. So I was like, well, let's give it a try. So long and short of it, on the day 2 of this group, Holly Hillier got on this call. And on her call, guys, she basically was like, diamond is a choice. But you always say that for Emerald. You know, Emerald's a choice. You have your control group and then you have, she's like, no, diamond is truly a choice. You have the choice to hustle your ass off and stop waiting for people to build a business and build it yourself. And for whatever reason, that really resonated with me where I was like, she's speaking to my soul, like, this is what I need. So then it was like go mode. So for me, go mode looks like getting up at 4:30 every single day. Sending invites for an hour or 2 every single morning. Keep in mind, guys, I also during the same exact period of time went back to work full time and was working 11-hour days. So I'm starting a brand new job. I'm going to corporate training every single day and I'm pushing for this big goal at the same time. Not ideal timing, but at the same time for me made me very intentional with my time. So getting up at 4:30 every single day, no matter what, sending invites every single morning for an hour or 2. Then every time I went to the bathroom, guys, my phone went with me and I was responding to people. On my lunch break, I was taking every second I could to send more invites. And at night when I got home, I would make it a priority. But throughout that time period, there was plenty of times that I was calling Sam crying. Like, oh my God, I don't think it's going to happen. We're getting closer. Every day that we would get closer, I would start to, like, I'm game planning. I'm writing out the names. And I said this, I had this on a little sticky note in my office and I would come and look at it every day. But I was watching this really great call and they said something like, oh, Emily Faber's call. She said, if you kind of sort of try, you kind of sort of get results. And don't let anyone ever work harder than you, are the 2 quotes that she lives by. And for me, every single day I would wake up and say, like, if you kind of sort of try, you're kind of sort of going to get results. And so if I kind of sort of show up, if I kind of sort of self-sabotage myself, I can guarantee that I'm not going to make it. But if I 100% go all in and give it my all, then that's all I can really do. So in less than about 4 weeks, almost exactly, I was able to sign up. I hit Success Club 20 between all of my accounts. I was able to sign up. I had 1 active coach under Jeff. And so I signed up 7 coaches. I helped create 2 new emeralds on his account, as well as I put 2 new girls on my account, because you have to have 10 coaches as a star diamond. So
really fast. When she said she built the emerald coaches, like she built those coaches. So like nobody was like, hi, I'm gonna go emerald. She brought in the coaches for them to go emerald. She put coaches under her coaches' accounts. Just to clarify.
Right. So one of the things Holly earlier talked about was that she was tired of waiting for emeralds. And part of that was that she was like, this is the thing, guys, like this is your business. If you want to move rank, then you need to move rank. And so what I did is I offered the opportunity to my mom and my best friend who love the products to take the commission. I would have paid anything to go to One Star and go to New Leadership Conference. So what I did is I signed up discount coaches under 2 people. So 4 coaches, 4 challenge packs under 2 people, and made both of them go emerald. So the reason I'm telling you all of that is not because I'm necessarily saying that you need to do that, but I am also 100% believe if you kind of sort of try, you kind of sort of get results, and going diamond is a choice. Your business is your business. No one is going to make your business for you. And more so through this push, I realized that like the hard stuff, now that I've done it, now that I'm here, the more I realize how much I have been self-sabotaging myself over the last 2 years, and how much every single one of us is capable. All of you guys, other than maybe Holly, because she's new, is on my social media. You are not seeing, I'm not doing something outrageous. I'm not doing something crazy at all. I was sending invites every second I could, and I was responding to people every single I could. Literally up until the last day, qualification was at 9 p.m., and I signed up 3 people before noon on the last day. I had coaches who I thought were going to be active who were unable to be active. So I had to just pull Hail Marys left and right. The only reason why I'm telling you guys that is because the person inside of me typically would have just quit. And the night before, I was up until 11 o'clock at night messaging with a girl trying to get her signed up. Like, normally that is not in me. And the reality is every single one of you girls I know personally, and I know every single one of you has it in you to be that person. Don't think, just do. That was the one thing that I kept saying to myself. Don't think about it. Don't analyze it. Just continue to send invites. Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do not even acknowledge that this is a big deal. Don't even think about the 1 star at the end. Just think about who's next. Who am I talking to? Showing up every day, being as consistent as I can. And then, like we say when I play basketball, leave it on the court. That's all you can do. So in regards to, Sam, what was the other thing I was supposed to answer? My emotional whatever. I kind of talked about that a little bit, but I just want to be clear, guys. Like, yeah, throughout this entire month, there was moments where I'd have all these girls sign up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then literally within days, it would be like, everyone said no to me. 100 people said no. And, I always joke, like, fall in love with the no. I remember, Sam, when I was a new coach, we did like a 100 no challenge and you got a prize. And I was like, no. Like, I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. And I tried to have that mentality because in reality, no's are really yeses. And that's what is going to show up in January and February and all of that stuff. And November is not an easy month to recruit, guys. It's very difficult. But the reality is, it's not like, just because it's around the holidays doesn't mean that you can't do it. You 100% can do it. Reinviting just as coaches are also challengers. No. So no one who signed up with me currently, bye, Holly. No one who signed up with me was genuinely a coach. Every single person was a discount coach. Oh, that's a lie. I had 1 girl. But pretty much I don't invite, I basically, every single person who I sign up now, I sign up as a discount coach. If you guys want, I can do a call on how I do that, like phrasing and verbatim and stuff like that. But it was all discount coaches. And so now reaching the goal, it still doesn't feel surreal that we're like in qualification. It's very stressful that we're in qualification, but it feels awesome. It feels awesome to push really hard for something and to make it. But even if I hadn't made it, this push, I know for a fact, just like I know for a fact in Sam's business, these are the pushes that changes what your future looks like. The last time I did a big push like this was when I went diamond. So that book, Recruiting 30 People or 20 People in 30 Days by Eric Warr, when he talks about the numbers and massive action in small amounts of time. If you have not watched that YouTube video, I highly recommend it. But that was the last time that I did a super big push. And it was something that truly changed my business and changed my mentality with the business. So if you're looking for new blood in your boot camps, if you're looking to reach for a big rank goal, if you're looking to boost yourself and boost your business, it's not about actually the people. It's about your mentality. And not saying that, like I said, that there wasn't plenty of nights crying or questioning myself. Like I said, when I started this, I was like having a big internal struggle with if I could even be a real coach, like if I was even ever really going to do this. So that's being really honest with you guys, because I normally don't talk about that kind of stuff, but I was really struggling with if this could ever be my reality. And for those of you that have watched me for a while know that I want coaching to be my full-time gig. And I couldn't imagine, like I couldn't believe in myself enough to believe that that was real. So I said, okay, well, if you don't make one star, then you're maybe gonna have to reconsider. So that was like this line in the sand. And I was like, Brenna, you're either gonna go all in and you're really gonna do this, or you need to, look at some stuff differently. So it feels great to be here now. I'm very excited for New Leader Conference. It is something that I think every single woman on our team, I know for a fact, could be where we are. We're not like these insanely special, like we're not like those coaches like Bonnie Engel where you see them and you're like, they're so pretty and shiny and not real. We're real. You've seen us from day one. Sam has literally seen me from the day I signed up as a coach and like reluctantly shared my story and then deleted all my followers from Facebook when I was pregnant because I hated everybody. Like, so anybody can be where they are. It is truly about saying, this is my goal. This is what I'm going to do, and not thinking about it, just doing it and being willing to sacrifice, things. And keep in mind though, I was like on vacation. I was traveling. I still did stuff. I still went out with my family, like all of that. It was just, I think a lot of it was more of my mentality than anything. So now moving forward, although I was celebrating for like 2 days, this morning I was up again at 4:30 and I'm back on the grind because now I'm focusing on keeping 1 star and pushing for 2 star. Because like Sam said, momentum is everything. And going into this new year, when you guys are inviting right now, and I'm not saying to you ladies that are just on, I'm saying like anyone who's watching the recording too, doing your invites now, doing your inviting now, even though it's maybe the hardest time because maybe you're getting some of those no's or like after the holidays, all of that stuff. This is when you want to see those Success Club 20 numbers in January, in February. You have to do the work now. 80% of the people who signed up with me were people I've been talking to for years, or at least for months. Very few of them were people who just popped up and were brand new invites. They were old invites. They were rollover invites. They were that consistency piece over the last 6 months that I got to see that come to fruition when I needed it to. And if you don't have that, because you start and stop so much, then it creates this lull. Then it makes it very hard to make those big pushes really successful. So do the push now and keep that get that momentum going. So that way in January, February, March, going into the summer, you're going to have that showing up. People are immediately going to think of, oh, this is the person I need to contact because I need to feel good. Or this is the person who's killing it in their business. Like, I need to jump on her team. Whatever it is, you want your face to pop up in their head because you're always there. And don't be afraid to invite people multiple times. Like most of the people, especially if you leave it off on a good note, like, hey, can I check back with you at a later date? Most people are like, sure. So when you message them again, they're like, oh yeah, I should do that. And like Sam said, there's still like days left in November. I'm still pushing right now to hit Success Club numbers on my account. With this no excuse November, guys, like people love that shit. Eat it up. Sorry about the cussing. The only as I get is people say they don't want to do the coach fee if they don't like the shakes. So this is what I always tell people. Sam, this is probably, sorry, do you not want me to go into this, Sam? Okay. Okay, so I don't even offer it as like a coach discount. Okay, so this is how, like the brief, and like I said, I could do a whole call on it, but the brief ins and outs of how I offer it. So I get them all set up with their challenge pack. We go through, we get their email, we get their shake flavor, we talk about all this stuff because we're going to do share a cart. And then I say, hey girl, of course, you know, I want to make sure you're going to want the 25% discount, right? To save money on all your future shakes and programs. And they say, well, I mean, yeah, of course. And then when they go to checkout, if they're like, hey, what's this fee? I don't really understand. First of all, I say, oh, that's the way that I'm able to hook you up with your 25% discount. There's no minimum requirement for coaching, but all my coaches get 25% off. So obviously I'm going to hook you up with that, you know, and then if in the future you decide you want to make some money, you have that opportunity. When they say, well, I'm not sure about the shakes. Anyone can say, this is a tip that I took from my husband who's like a sales guru. But his big thing was he would say, so I hate to hear you already talking about quitting before you even started. Okay, so think about that. When you say that to somebody, they're like, no, I'm not saying that, right? You're saying, you know, and then usually I would respond with, this is an 80-day program. So that's going to be at least 2 to 3 bags of Shakeology. You're going to want to get the discount because you're going to want to get those complete results. And most people are like, yeah, you're right. Okay, my bad. Or I do that, and then I also send them a graphic explaining, which if you don't have the graphic, I can post it in Team Bold Fitness, but it explains how much money they're going to save even with the coach fee. Even with that in, they still save $20 no matter what on just shakes, let alone if they do anything else. So typically when people get to see the numbers for themselves, and you also kind of gut check them a little bit, like, hey, you're about to start on a lifestyle journey and you're already got one foot out the door, like, maybe this isn't right for you. Most people either they're either gonna run or they're gonna sign up. And most people, I would say, when I say that, they're like, no, I'm not saying that. I just was curious. And I say, well, if 6 months to a year down the road you're not sure, or if there's a tough month in there, you can always delay your shakes. We're not even talking about canceling. We're not even talking about any of that stuff. You, of course, can delay your shakes. That's not a problem. We know stuff happens, girl. Don't worry about it. If someone's adamantly like, well, if I need to cancel down the road, are there going to be fees? I'll say, of course there's not fees. There's no contract, none of that. And most of the time that reassures people. The other thing I get is because they have to put in their social security number because they're signing up as a coach. So I just reassure them that, one, as a coach, you can make money. So Beachbody has to comply with the IRS and paying taxes. You know, if you make over $600 and you have to pay taxes on it, but that's not going to apply to you. They just have to have it on file. And most people are okay with that. So those are the two things that I will address. But I've had people who I send them it and they just sign up. They don't even ask me about the fee. They don't ask about any of those things. So I used to go in this whole blurb in advance explaining to them about a discount coach and blah, 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 blah. And I would just insert foot, basically. So now I don't even go there. I just explain to them that they're going to get a 25% discount and I send it to them. And I'll even maybe say like, hey, that digital business starter kit you see, there's no fee associated with it, as you can see, and that's how you're getting your 25% discount. And most people are okay with that. I'm not sure. Did that explain it okay, guys? Yeah? Okay. So the biggest thing I will say is that every single person on your team should be signed up as a discount coach. When I first started, that was the hardest thing for me to transition. And even like some of my older girls who fell off, you know, if they sign back up, I'm getting them signed up as a discount coach. As well as I'm getting them signed up with the challenge pack. So I want you to think about it as like, go about it with that confidence that you would about even getting them signed up with a program. Those are going to be some of your best coaches down the road, but also people want to save money on all aspects of it. And then the last thing I'll say is do what you got to do to make it happen. Do what you got to do to make it happen. Period. Point blank. That is it. I mean, I would have given my left hand to make it happen. You know, Sam and I were game planning. Should our children be signed up as Beachbody coach? Like, what do we need to do to make this happen? So I just want to reiterate that it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be in the top 1%. There's a reason why the top 1% are diamond and above. Not emerald, diamond and above. And even that, the amount that is star, diamond, 2-star, it just gets less and less. But that's also why those people are making great money, helping lots of people and getting people attracted to them. So sometimes you have to do the hard work now with nobody else with you, so that those people who get it, who want that business, will come to you. Yeah, you mean like they get to sign up with a coach at the same price at the 140, they still get to sign up as a coach with no fee. Is that what you're asking? Yeah. So this is a perfect time to talk about it. I mean, they're basically getting a BOD, sign up as a coach, and their Shakeology for the price of one bag of Shake-O. So this is like, I mean, a freaking score. So anyways, Sam, did I answer all the questions?
Yes. And I think
I
like,
didn't too much.
no, you did great. You did amazing. I think like I hope that you're taking from this is that it's not impossible to do this. Sorry, there's like a kickback, so I just muted everyone. It's not impossible to reach for these goals. It just is doing more of what you're already doing. It's doing it consistently what you're already doing. And I hope that you noticed that a lot of it was our mindset. It wasn't like, we don't have like the coolest stories with like the best graphics or like the best phrases, or that our invites are not like perfectly phrased. It's like we're just doing it. And the difference is our mindset. And so what you have to figure out is how you self-sabotage. You know, we do it very differently, but we're still doing it and we're still pushing through it. And, you know, some people will say like, well, why, like, you know, people don't understand what 1-star is. They don't understand what these ranks are. Like, heck, we didn't understand what they were until like legit 4 weeks ago. But, I can't explain how good it feels to say I'm going to cry, like that I did this, that like, you know, we go to college or, you know, you get a job and it's just very different, right? You clock in and you have a list of duties and you do that, and because somebody else is paying you. This business is so empowering because we're doing it ourselves. People sign up all the time and quit. But we're jumping on team calls. We're trying to learn. We're trying to figure it out. And our destiny is in our hands, like right there, like my hand, me doing it. And it's really scary, which is where all the limiting belief comes in and where the self-sabotage comes in. But it's also, get ready for a lot of F-bombs, like fucking empowering to be like, I did that. Like, people said no to me constantly and I still did it. You know, you quit on me or you ghosted me, and hey, I'm still there. I am still freaking there. I'm still doing it. When, even though, I mean, I've really never had anyone say like that's a bunch of crap what you're doing. I mean, I'm sure in their head people have thought that, but I've really never had anyone say that. But I know people are thinking it, and then there I am getting shouted out by Brigida for being 1-star. They don't know what it is, but it's something that I did. Or I know Brenna has had people who in their mind are like, yeah, whatever, I'm never doing that. And then, oh, she, you know, she'll be one of those people who quit. And then, oh, look at Brenna, here's her story. You know, I got on, and I leveraged, you know, Brenna's success. I hope she doesn't mind. But, you know, I got on my poll, a bunch of people comment that they didn't want to be a coach because they have no followers. So when Brenna went 1-star and I told her story on my Instagram story, she deleted everybody. Brenna deleted everybody, you guys. I remember she was pregnant and I was like, Brenna, I mean, I don't think these people are going to stalk your baby. And she was like, no, I got rid of them all. And I was like, okay, you know, like, you don't mess with the pregnant lady. So I just was like, okay, but she did it and she came back and then she found her tribe, you know, like she has awesome boot camps that are filled with women who are just like her. And so, and if you guys need, like, tell our stories, tell other people's stories, tell people in your boot camp, tell their stories. People don't need to know that, like, oh my gosh, you signed them up and like you're directly getting the volume. They don't know what that shit is, just that you're surrounded by success. And then whatever you need to do, like I had to start Grow Wash Your Face again today. and I've listened to it like 4 times, but it helps me feel better. So whatever you need to do to get out of your head or get in your head in a positive way and get out of your own way to do it, just do it. Who cares if you have to listen to Girl Wash Your Face for 12 months in a row? Like, if that's what gets you there, that's what gets you there. But, you know, just know that it feels really good to get to a place that you've worked for. And maybe your first goal is hitting Success Club and how good that's going to feel when you get the hat. You know, like, it's so cool. Or, you know, just small win it and to the big win. That's all this business is. And Brenna had to remind me of that today. You know, she was like, Sam, like, you're doing the small things. Like, you just didn't get the big one, but you're doing all the small things. You're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. And I was like, oh yeah, you know, like, and I was listening to a call. I think it was the Hustle, the Diamond Group. In one of the videos, they were saying how on the top 10 trip that every one of those top 10ers couldn't believe that they were there because they had their own self-sabotage, their own self-doubt. The only difference between them and us is that they work through it faster. You know, they like check themselves quicker or whatever. But Melanie Mitro doesn't believe she should be top coach, and she's freaking top coach. So, well, I mean, she's in, you know, she's number 4 right now. Oh my God, the drama, the Beachbody drama. Like, she's not, she's number 2. She's number 2 or 1. Her and Ashley are like this, but I keep like,
4 years in a row, and she still doesn't.
Oh yeah. 4 years in a row. She's like pushing for 5th, but I do watch the top 10 status, like legit, it's The Bachelor. Like, I'm like, oh shit. Ashley's the number 1, like, because you know that but they all support each other and they all love each other. And that's the cool thing about this business is that, like, you're going to find completely different people on Instagram that I'm going to find. Like, and you just have to find your tribe and you have to present this with them, because I know that there's a mom of 3 out there crying on her kitchen floor like I was and needs this win, that needs this business to have an out. Because if all I did all day was the diapers and the kitchen and the stuff, I wouldn't do it. Like, I love my kids more than anything, but I need something for me. And even when I was a teacher, I needed something for me, because my teacher it's like I felt like I was for my students and it was for my paycheck. When I started coaching, it was like, this is for me. I get to just be me and have this. So anyways, that was kind of a long rant at the end, but I hope that you know that we didn't do anything different. The only thing we did is be super consistent, you know, and show up when it wasn't easy. You know, I think I tell Brenna all the time, this is going to be her national wake up call turning point story. Like, she was questioning the business. She started a new job. Like, you know, it's kind of like that underdog story, the Cinderella story, where they like swoop in from nowhere. And it's like, but that just shows, like, it kind of kicks us all in our butt, right? Like, oh, okay, well, maybe I just need to be a little bit more focused and I need to be a little bit more intentional, because she's not saying this, but at this time, she was really trying to dedicate a lot of time to her family because she went back to work full time. And so it was very like, I only have, like, I'm not on my phone from like 6 to 9 or whatever, you know, when she got home, like, so not every night, but a lot of nights a week. So it was like, yeah, I mean, she was sneaking in the bathroom a few times to be like, holy shit. But, you know, getting up early, being intentional. And you don't need 8 hours to do this. You just need focused hours. So get it done, girls, get it done. So we will have, I'm probably, you know, she volunteered. We're probably going to do this sign up coach call in December. And then we're going to talk a lot about Shanti's new program. And one thing too, I know we talk about Emily Favre a lot. Like, I'm not idolizing her or anything. It's just, she is one of those stories. She went from diamond to 15-star in like a period of, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months. Like it's craziness. And Bonnie Engel went from 2-star, which that was one of the other motivating calls that we had, was that she didn't have any working coaches when she went to New Leader Conference. She built her husband and her mom herself. And then that year she went from 2-star to 15-star. But the difference is that, like, Emily, she gave herself 100% to 80-day obsession. And I plan on giving myself 100% to Transform 20, because I've never done it before. let me rephrase. When I first started as a coach, I gave myself to 21-day fix, and I did it perfectly, and I got amazing results. But since then, you guys, I've never done it. I've always cheated. Lift 4, I haven't missed a workout, but my nutrition is not, I mean, I haven't measured with the container since before I got pregnant with Cannon. Like, I know, because you get in your head that, like, you think you know how to do it, so you don't have to do it perfect. But if you kind of sort of try, you kind of sort of get results. So I have no desire to do a cardio-based program, you guys, okay? I have no effing desire. However, everyone is raving about it. Shanti is wicked, like, he's so motivating. He is, like, gonna, you know, what's wrong, baby? I know. Don't hit him. Don't hit him. Don't attack him. So he is going to pep talk you. Everyone says it does great things for your booty, which I'm totally down for. You know, I all know I need it. So, like, I'm going to give myself to it, and I'm going to show people that, like, you can do it too. But they've been following me, so they know I'm not perfect all the time. It's not about being perfect. It's about, just like when you reach this big goal, it's about being like, holy shit, I did that. Like, I did something hard. It is really easy to quit on yourself. So get ready to give yourself to a program. And if you don't want to do Transform 20, like, I really suggest that you try and ask me questions if you don't really want to do it, because I know I didn't want to. But leverage another thing and give yourself to a program and show you are going to do it. Oh, and then there's the info group with Brigida right now, which I haven't even looked into. So, but it's there. So get ready for that. Give yourself to a program. Get excited, and share the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that is our team call, wrapped up in just under an hour. I'll stop recording, and then we have to take a picture.